Hi everyone, Mr. Suits here. Welcome to my guide on how to get started in the Roblox game My Prison. If you're new to the game or just looking for some tips to improve your prison management skills, you're in the right place. Today, I'll talk over some of the basics to give you some strategies to build the best prison tycoon. Let's dive in. Now for some background, My Prison is a game where you get to build and manage your own prison. With recent updates like new decoration, the workshop, infirmary, and more, there's a lot to explore. But with the right approach, you can have the biggest and most efficient prison in no time. First off, you select where you want your prison to be. You have to claim a spot of land. I've noticed that this spot right here, just next to the town, is a really nice spot to get started. We're going to have a new prison. And every time you load in, there's always going to be an update first shown. It's just letting you know the new updates that came out. Here we got new clothes, modern and old kitchen, roof fence, a whole lot more. There's always some stuff coming up. Now this guy right here, Tuto, he's your friend. Anytime that you have something missing in your prison, you go ahead and talk to him. His assistant. He'll let you know if you have anything missing. If there's nothing missing, you can just bring prisoners in. Now for the layout and design of your first prison, you're going to want to start by clearing out the default setup. You can leave the walls and you're going to want to delete the fences though. You can delete the doors, you can delete everything here. You're not going to need any of this. It's nice looking, but it's not efficient. We're here to improve that. First, we want to prioritize bedding. We got to make sure that every prisoner has their own bed. Initially, we're going to use the cheap beds and later on we can upgrade, but right now we're just talking about efficiency. And while we're here on an empty plane, we're just going to start designating areas in our head. Like over here, we're going to have the infirmary, maybe later a workshop. Most of our cells are going to be here. There's going to be showers over there. And we're going to also need a cafeteria. Now for meeting the prisoner's needs, this guy, Tuto over here, if you go to assistant, he'll let you know what you're missing. But to let you know, bedding is essential for every prisoner to be satisfied. You need at least one bed for every one prisoner. You can use bunk beds, and they have two beds, and they take up the same slot. So you'll be able to maximize space with that. Next, they're going to need exercise equipment. So exercise equipment is going to be either the weight benches or the treadmills. They're equally effective. They both count towards 1 point, and you're going to need about 60% of your prison population to have one. So say you have 10 prisoners, you need 6 workout equipment. Or say you have 20 prisoners, it's going to be 12, and it just goes on from there. Tuto will let you know in case you don't know what's going on with that. If you just go ahead and talk to him, or he'll come up to you, go to the assistant tab and he'll let you know. Now for food, you're going to ensure that there's enough dinner tables, buffets, kitchen equipment, and chefs for your prison. So one chef here, he can cook to 15 people, and every buffet is going to need at least 1 stovetop, 1 sink, and 1 refrigerator. So in order for it all to work, he's going to need the tools to cook in order to cook for your prisoners. The next essential thing for your prisoners is going to be toilets and going to be showers. So for toilets and showers, 1 shower and 1 toilet can provide enough for 2 prisoners. So say you have 10 prisoners, you're only going to need 5 showers and 5 toilets. Then it goes on from there. Say you have 20 prisoners, you're going to need 10 showers, 10 toilets. Now we're going to talk a bit about hiring workers. Workers are important. Just everything is important. Guards, they can watch over 5 prisoners. So say you have 10 prisoners, you're going to need 2 guards. And like I talked about before, chefs are important, 1 for 15. Now there's janitors and repairmen. These are not super important. You might like to have a janitor, you might like to have a repairman, but you don't need them. Once you start getting enough money and you have a good amount in your bank, you can start decorating and hiring some more expensive people. An essential tool used in My Prison is vehicles. Now there's a little option of vehicles to choose from. You got your police cars, the long police car, SWAT car, and then some that are going to cost Robux, the limousine and the military truck. Each vehicle has its own capacity for the amount of prisoners they can hold. Starting out, you're just going to have the 1, and then it goes up from there. Now starting off with your first prison, you're going to have the small section that's all fenced off, but really you can open up to all of these wide areas here. And you can hold up to nearly 85 prisoners in your first area. Now as you get money, you can start to expand by purchasing these lots. The first around the ring is going to be 1,000, except for the corner piece here. And then from going on from there, it's going to be 75,000 all the way around, and then the rest is going to be the game pass, which you can purchase. A few extra tips is to regularly check your prisoners to prevent riots and escapes. If you go ahead and click on them, they'll let you know what's going on. If they're all 100%, you're fine. Now, sometimes they'll be at 100%, but if you have Tuto over here, he'll come after you, and you go ahead and go to his assistant tab, and he'll let you know what's going on. I've noticed with medium security prisoners, they won't show what they need if you click on them, so he'll let you know if there's any problems. Another really important tip is that when you hire these guards, chefs, janitors, all of this workers, they're going to be costing per hour. So on the top here, you can see a little clock. Every time it goes to 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, it's going to cost you $5 for the guard, 13 for the chef, and then 20 and 18 for the janitor and repairman. So you want to make sure you have at least a good amount of money. Never really hit zero. If you do, you might end up having to pay your guards and you'll go negative, and it's kind of hard to go back up from there. You're going to have to sell a few things to try to get back on your feet. And that's a wrap on our beginner's guide to My Prison on Roblox. Remember, every prison is unique. There is no one-size-fits-all strategy. Experiment with different layouts and strategies to find what best works for you. If you find this guide helpful, don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe for more tips and tricks. Happy building, and see you in the next one.